Hello YouTube, this is Jared again, coming to you with another unboxing, and this one is an extra special one. I managed to run out to my local Target and snag a copy of the brand new Dawn of War Onslaught board game. They sold out crazy fast in my area, and I didn't think I was going to get one, but the one Target near my house had them listed as unavailable for online order, but it didn't say sold out. So I stopped by the store and checked, and sure enough, I found one of the last copies of this first run, I suppose. And so I was able to snag it. This is something I'm really excited about. This cost me $54 with tax, and so that was nice. But the 9 miniatures in this box are these 3 and 6 more. These 9 miniatures are considered the honor of the chapter. They came out with the Indomitus starter box in 9th edition, and I got into Warhammer right after that. So I never had a chance to pick up the Indomitus box. And so all of these miniatures have been something that I've not been able to really get or get at a good price. Games Workshop sells the Space Marine Honored of the Chapter, which is this sprue, for $168. And so that much for 9 miniatures has never been in my budget, but I have always been a huge fan of basically all 9 of these Space Marines. So I am super excited about this. The other reason this box is really special is it was the Fire Team box. The Fire Team box was the box that got me into Warhammer. I had looked at Warhammer, played the Total War Warhammer game, kind of looked at Warhammer and said, oh, that's too expensive. I can never get into this. But then I painted some D&D minis and realized I did kind of like painting. And then I found Fire Team at Barnes & Noble on clearance. And I said, what's one box of minis? So I bought one box of minis. And now, 2 years later, I have a rather large collection of several hundred minis. And so it was the board game boxes that got me into this hobby, and so the board games have always been special. I always try to pick up, not all the board games, but the ones I'm interested in, and this one especially looked really cool. I love getting the ones that have some of the Space Marines and some of the cool sculpts, especially stuff that can be used both as a board game, but then can be used in the larger game. So really excited about this box. I was so happy when I found it. I was full expecting to miss out on this one. I've missed out on a couple things before because I've waited too long or assumed that I couldn't get it, but I am absolutely looking forward to this box. So I figured I'd do a live unboxing here and a live reaction, and here it is. Oh my goodness, in red plastic. And I love these reliquies. That is amazing. So that's going to be crazy fun to paint. And he's got a robot hand or whatever, a bone hand. Let's see, we've got our chaplain. My 100th mini, as I mentioned in a previous video, was a chaplain, so I painted a chaplain as my 100th mini. This is a special sculpt of the chaplain, but I love the chaplain. I really like this hourglass. I don't have enough minis with hourglasses, and there is the Judicar sword. I am so excited to finally get a Judicar. That has been one of the minis that I really wanted, and if you go on eBay and try to find just the Judicar, you're looking at sometimes up to 40 bucks, and considering this cost me 54 bucks, that is, oh, it's such a great deal. The other game that I got that was a really good deal was Lair of the Beast. I was just looking at it here. Lair of the Beast I got and painted up. That was such a fun project to paint. It had a bunch of Imperial agents in it that were individually sold for more than the price of the board game. So that was also a crazy good deal. So I was really glad to get Lair of the Beast. So I have a handful of Navigators and Rogue Trader kind of models as well from that. That was a great time. And the Amble was in that, which is another miniature that's more expensive than the actual board game. So that was a good deal. So it's so nice to see Games Workshop putting out these board games, doing these partnerships to get more people into the hobby. Oop, I just punched out a backpack, it looks like. These are push fit minis. I don't love push fit, but if it gives me a Judicar and all these other fun guys, I don't mind push fit at all. You trim the pegs, you put a little extra glue on it, and it works out great. So let's see what else is in here. I'm so excited about the minis. I actually don't know too much else. All right, we got white dice. Never have enough white dice. I got a whole bag of these. Can't go wrong with dice. Got the bases. All right, push fit bases, standard enough. And then I believe, ooh, Chaplain Casketo. Castiel. We'll say Castiel. That's fun. This is a rule card. Ooh, and here's the Justicar on the back. So they have specialty rules. I didn't realize that. That's fun. These are 10th edition rule cards. That's awesome. So super excited about that. That'll let me bring them over into the main game. I usually make my own cards. I don't buy the official cards just because they go out of date so fast. And I like printing. I have a hole puncher. I have a laminator. I make my own little fancy cards. Here's all the cards to play the game. All right. Yep, these look like all the cards in the games. And there's always been really good quality in these board games. They're always a great time. And it looks like you're fighting orcs. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. Now I'm going to want to really collect. I have a big Age of Sigmar orc army that spans, with the Bone Splitters, it spans all 3 tribes. But it's a smaller Bone Splitter. It's mostly Iron Jaws and Cruel Boys. But this might convince me to upgrade the game by getting some more orcs. I'm really curious if there's certain models. That was one of the things I liked about Fireteam, is it had optional expansions you could do by buying certain kits. And so I bought the Harley Quinn box so that I could play the Harley Quinn rules that came in that. So that's one of the things I think that whoever designs these Games Workshop board games does that's just brilliant, is they say, hey, here's the minis you need to play the game and some tokens, but if you want to make it more premium, here's more models that you could bring in. And it's just a good time. If I remember right from the box, I believe these guys are painted up as Blood Ravens, but I'm not planning on starting a Blood Ravens chapter anytime soon. I currently have about 1,000 points of Ultramarines, and I'm debating if I want to do more Ultramarines or less Ultramarines. I really like the Dark Angels. I really like Rogel Dorn and the Imperial Fists. And my wife likes the Raven Guard. So I think those are the 3 factions I'm thinking about changing. Here we go. Here's what the orc models would be. You'd have boys, knobs, mega knobs, Gretchen, commandos. I actually have the commandos from Kill Team. A mech boy, knob, Luda, okay. Burna Boy, that's also in there. War Boss, Big Mech, and a Weird Boy. Ooh, I wonder how hard. So I might have to do some research and maybe make a video or something and post what it would take to turn these into models. What would I need? And I'll take some research. Figure out exactly how many models, price it out. If I'm going to get an orc army anyways, how would I get the orcs to really make this premium so I could use orc models versus the Space Marine models? That could be really fun. That's what I did with Fireteam, and that would be fun to do again here. I could see that being just an absolute great time, especially because I'm getting the Combat Patrol magazine, and so in about a year, I'll be getting more orcs in the magazine. And then, rumor has it that the next edition of Warhammer is going to be orcs in the launch box, and so in theory, I could get some more orcs there. So here is the guide on how to play. There's actually lore in this one, which is nice, because normally you don't get lore in the rule book. So they've gone really premium on this particular board game. They really want this to be a gateway game to get more people into the hobby. And good job on them. They did great. They put some valuable minis, really good stuff to get you into starting an army. It's almost 400 points of miniatures, if I remember. It's 3 heroes and 2 elite squads. And so it's enough minis to start it off. And if you partner it with the beginning of the Hachette magazine, it's 1,000 points. You can get a 1,000-point Space Marine army by getting just this box and the first couple months of the Hachette magazine for not a lot of money. You know, it's 12 or 14 bucks an issue, I think, somewhere around there. And you could get 1,000 points of Space Marines really fast. And so that's tempting to use as a basis of another army. So I'm really tempted on that one. And some good models, too. It's not just a bunch of Assault Marines, which is what my first army kind of wound up being, because I got several starter boxes on sale. All right, this looks like it's a pretty detailed game, too. This looks like they put some work into this, which is really encouraging. And here's how to get into the hobby, how to buy a starter box. Yep, this actually looks a lot like a Hachette magazine. I see that. And here's a horde mode in here. There it is, horde mode. So there's alternate modes in here too. There's a quick play guide too. Game reference. Love when they do that. So that's super excited. This looks like a legit game. I'm guessing this is going to be the board, and then that's it for the box. And then they make everything premium. They make you feel excited to cut all these seals, and it's a nice feeling. You buy their board game and you open it up and you feel like you got something really special. It's got that kind of Christmas feeling. And for this part of my life, it's nice to have something like this that just feels a little bit special and a little bit nice. Yep, there's the board. Here's all the orc tokens. All right. Yep, that's all that's in here. All right, let's see what we got. So we got a bunch of tokens. These look like all the different orky boys. I like it. So I see Gretchen. I see Burner boys. I see the big guys, the shooter guys. Here's the big hero guys. Yeah. Oh, that's about one orc army. Man, that's going to be real tempting to get. So I'm not going to do it right away. I've got too many other projects lined up this year. But maybe one of next year's projects will be to take this and premiumize it and buy all of these orcs. So figure out what's in the magazine, figure out what's in the new launch box, the combat patrol, and see if I can budget and get all of the orcs to really make this board game extra premium. So if you're interested in seeing that, leave it in the comments. If you're interested in seeing how to play on this board game, I'd be happy to do that too. Or if you have suggestions for which chapter I should paint the Space Marines as. Should they be Ultramarines, Imperial Fist, Dark Angels, or Raven Guard? If you have a favorite, tell me what your favorite chapter is. What would you paint them as? Like I said, I got 1,000 points because I'm also got the Hachette magazines. So I've got enough to make 1,000-point Space Marine army, and it's going to be pretty fun. But it's going to be fairly elite. So which army, to your knowledge, is really good with elite units? We're going to have some Terminator armor guys, a Dreadnought, and then all of this fun. So this is everything that was in the box. I cannot wait to build this, and I'll probably show it off once it's built if there's any interest at all in knowing how to play this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I was excited to find a box and get one of the last ones in stock. I saw it actually on a stock card, and it made me really happy. So if there's any suggestions you have, put it in the comments below. Otherwise, I hope you found this really interesting. Hopefully it goes back in stock. If you see it in stock, definitely grab one for you, and if there's an extra one, grab one for your friend. This is gonna be a fun box. It's an incredible value. It's $100, more than $100 than what you'd pay for it if you bought it online from GW, and it's a really, really generous way to put new models in really nice models into the hands of new players who might never played Warhammer. So super awesome. So glad Games Workshop made this and is putting it in non-GW stores so that more people can get exposed to how much fun our hobby is. All around a great deal, great find, and I'm so excited. So hope you have a great day. I hope this video was a lot of fun for you as it is for me, and you enjoyed seeing all these cool models. Have a great day. Bye.